5 ways to book more weddings in 2025. The first way is the easiest, but it does cost money. The second one, however, is completely free. Then another free one, but there could potentially be a paid element. Then free again. Then finally, we're going to wrap up with one that you can always bank on working if you're doing it right. This last strategy has banked me well over probably $500,000 or even $1 million in my wedding photography business over the past 20 years of operating. But I do hear some people saying that it doesn't work for them, so I'm going to talk a lot more about it. This is also from my podcast, and I'll put a link down below to my podcast if you're not yet listening to it. And I know a lot of you are already into the pre-order for the 10-step course that is coming out in January that's going to teach you everything that I know in a 10-step way on how to take photography and wedding photography specifically as a passion, as a thing that you'd like to do full-time and actually convert that into a full-time job. It is a 100% money-back guarantee. And also, if you get it on the pre-order, you're saving a ton of money. So I position this course as this could easily be a $2,000 or $3,000 course because it is going to book you weddings. And if this one course could make you $50,000 or $75,000 this year, it absolutely makes sense for me to ask for $2,000 or $3,000 for this. But I'm not going to do that. I am only asking for $399 for this course. But if you get in before the pre-order closes on December 31st, 2024, you can actually get $300 off. So you're only spending $99 on this course that could potentially be making you $50,000 or $100,000 over the next year in wedding photography. And it also comes with a ton of bonuses as well if you do get in on that pre-order. And again, 100% money back guarantee. If you get in and it's not what you're expecting, send me an email and I'll send your money back. Now, on to the 5 ways to book more weddings in 2025. So the first way, the easiest way, is a program that Focal runs. I'm a part owner in the company Focal. And originally, when we talked about the idea of just booking weddings for photographers, it was something that seemed impossible. And it took an entire restructuring of our company to even accommodate this. And essentially what the Ignite program is you are assigned a studio manager. So you get a real life human being that works for our company. It's not just an AI bot. It is a real person that's going to work for your company. And you're kind of hiring a fractional studio manager, and they're going to run your paid ad campaign. So that means that they're going to optimize it exactly as it should be. They're going to bring in leads. They're going to respond to those inquiries. They're going to get back to those couples. They're going to potentially even book a video call with that couple to make sure they're an absolutely qualified lead. And then they're going to pass it off to you to take over and to book the thing. My wife, Lindsay, and I, we actually had to get them to turn the program off because we were getting too busy for this year. And I think that there are a number of examples now of photographers that have booked 10 or 15 or even 20 weddings from the program. So if you are interested in kind of the shortcut, easy route, that is one of the ways that you can do it. It does cost some money, but I feel like there's a balance with you're going to make that money back, and also the time, freedom, and flexibility, and the professionalism that having a studio manager gives to your small business as well. I think is sets you definitely apart from other local single photographer studios. Number 2, this is the free one. This is one that you probably know you should be doing, and I'm going to do my best to reaffirm that it's the right thing to do. SEO, so search engine optimization, and creating blog posts to target specific keywords that people are going to be searching for in your local community. So if somebody has just recently got engaged, what are they searching for? Are they looking for a top 10 wedding venue list in your local area? Are they looking specifically at some venues looking for pricing? Is there a way that you can do some sort of venue tour? Can you put that on YouTube that is also owned by Google? And if somebody is searching for whatever venue name, wedding, and your video tour pops up, now you are in front of the camera. You are now the expert in wedding planning, and you are also the photographer, and you're showing off your work to them as they experience their venue for the first time ever, or their potential venue that they're going to get married at. And not only does that mean that you could potentially rank if you embed this on a blog post and also transcribe it with all the text so it ranks there, you can also potentially be getting them on the little thumbnail that pops up if they search for it and a video is available that's very relevant to their search terms. And also, if it is somebody that watches a lot of YouTube video content, it is more likely that a video like that's going to pop up. So if you are looking to get in front of your ideal customer or your ideal couple, this is an incredible way to do it. If you are a little stumped for what exact keywords should I put into my titles as well as into the URL, so that it's yourwebsitename.com/blog/whatever the keyword rich text is there. If you're stumped on what to do for that, you can always go to Google and you can type in wedding venue and see what it auto-populates with, or wedding photography and see what pops down there, and you can create content based on that. And I feel like that's an easy way for Google to know exactly where that content goes. It's already indexed, it's already categorized. And if you're creating a valuable piece of content, I feel like that's maybe another key here, is that you don't want to just be creating a piece of garbage content that is there obviously just to be an SEO piece to hopefully bring people to your site. But if you are creating a very valuable article that people click to, they get a lot of value from it, they stick around that page for a while, Google can see if they click through and they immediately bounce out, that's a bad thing for your business. But if they click through to the page and they spend a few minutes there before returning, then that is a very good indicator. It's also a way that you're going to get that content shared as well. By that, I mean that wedding planning is usually a team sport. There's usually a few other people trying to help someone plan a wedding. And if you are creating something of good value, there's a good chance that they're going to pass that along to the person that's actually getting married. Next one. So this is a free one, but sometimes there's a paid element to it as well. Becoming a preferred vendor on a venue's list, or even on another vendor's list, so that if they have a short list of people that they recommend, that I would love to work with these people. And the shortcut to getting on these lists is to make that person money. So if you can make a venue money by creating a great piece of blog post content, or maybe you're making reels and things to promote the venue, and you're going out of your way to promote their venue and bring people in their doors and book them weddings, they are going to fast track you to being on their preferred list. And then sometimes you just have to ask as well. The asterisks and the reason that sometimes there's a paid element, sometimes the lists are paid. I haven't experienced personally any sort of venue that is a kickback system. So that means that if you book a $5,000 wedding day, that they're going to take 20% of it or something like that. I have heard of this happening, but I have never experienced it personally. So that might be one of the paid asterisks out there. The other paid asterisk is sometimes there's just a flat fee to being on their list. So some venues will be printing a magazine, or if it's a collective of venues, maybe they're printing a magazine to promote all those venues and you pay a little bit to be part of that. Other businesses just want to make more money, and they realize that if they allow 1,000 photographers on their list and each of you pay $500, that they're going to make a lot of money that year. So it's up to you to kind of suss out if it's a scam list or if it's a real list. I would say in my experience, most venues are running an honest real life business and it is not a scam. There are also opportunities for you to bargain, that if they all of a sudden want $5,000 from you, you can be like, how about I make you guys a great promotional video, or I license you a ton of images for marketing. There are always ways that if you are genuinely helping that other business, that you can find some sort of middle ground that usually doesn't involve money if there are services that they need that you can offer them. I also go into more in depth. I think there's a full video about it in the 10 steps to going full time, the pre-order course. So if you get that, again, you save $300, $99 total, 100% money back guarantee. Full video in there about becoming a preferred vendor and ending up on those lists. Next one, a free one. So this one is probably the most simple and basic, and probably the one that all of us are continuously failing at least all of the established professionals that I know of. Just responding quickly to your emails. And I know that this might sound absolutely bonkers because, of course, I'm going to get back to that new inquiry. As it turns out, a lot of photographers sometimes take 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 days to get back to initial inquiries. And by that point, that wedding is already booked by another photographer. That, yeah, maybe if you're number one on their list, they're going to hold out till they hear back from you. Maybe they're going to hit you up on multiple different platforms and get a response out of you. But a lot of the time, if you're number 2, number 3, number 4 on their list, they're just going to move on to the other person that is responding quickly. That a lot of people will take that as a key indicator that if this person is responsive quickly, that means that they're going to be a nice vendor to work with. They're going to be an easy vendor to work with. And while it might set a negative precedent in some cases, that if you're responding instantly, people are going to just ask you way too many questions and always expect that instant response. I think in the initial inquiry stage of this, the faster you can respond, the better. If you're a member, you also have access to all my email templates, or if you get in on that pre-order, the templates come with that as well. So those are at least guidelines for how I respond to things that don't get you into the hole of becoming their best friend and having them ask every single wedding planning question they could ever imagine. That, yeah, we're going to keep it to photography, but I am going to get back to you quickly. And a way that if you are newer in the industry and you're willing to work a little bit harder, a lot of photographers, myself included, while I do say that, like, get back to them quickly, I will usually wait for the next business day if it comes in at 8 o'clock at night. If I was in my first year of business or year 0 of business, I would be getting back to them immediately, any time that I possibly could, that it was reasonable within the situation that I was at. So yeah, respond quickly. It's free for you to do, and it will book you a lot of weddings. Now, into the last one. And this one has been one that I've relied on not only for weddings, but also for commercial and for family photography, as well as for any of the online sales that I do. And it is paid advertising. It used to be on Facebook. It still is on Facebook a little bit. And depending on who you're going after and who you're marketing towards, it could still be there. But I would say most of that has shifted to Instagram now for me. I've experimented with TikTok ads, but I've never really had any results that outperformed Instagram. And this is kind of counterintuitive because usually the newer platform on the scene will price things better and will actually be better for your dollar. But as it turns out, Instagram is better for my business in my actual real life use. And I spend, I would say, at least from the January to March point of the year, I would spend a lot of my ad budget because I find that typically I would say February, March is kind of my booking time now. It has stretched out a little bit. So I would say one of the things that happened in 2020 was that I noticed that weddings tend to book a lot closer to their date now. It used to be maybe 18, 24 months out from a wedding that I would be fully booked for not even the next following year, but the year after that by January, February. Now I find that it's a little bit slower. So for January, February, March inquiries are usually coming in and still filling up that calendar season. There have been a few advancements in ads for Instagram. And the one is that they want to do everything automatically for you now. You basically get to set a net of what physical area you want to do this ad in, whether you want to do it in your city, whether you want to do it plus 25 miles from your city, or you want to punch in a bunch of different cities, or you want to market to all of America. You can do that. And then also use Advantage Plus, that it's called. And I would say in terms of my experience, Advantage Plus has outperformed my years and years and years of knowledge in Instagram ads. I used to target very specifically that I would keep it between like 23 and 35-year-old female only within my local area. And then there's a recently engaged indicator as well. I would have all these things going and my ads would do very well. I was very happy with the results. Now with Advantage Plus, it seems to just do it all for me and it performs better. I don't know if this maybe also goes back to what I said earlier, that wedding planning is a team sport. So now maybe my ad is getting in front of a mother or a bridesmaid or a groomsman, and they're sharing my content with the couple getting married. I go into more detail on the 10-step program, but the essential basics to getting into paid ads, don't just advertise just a web link. You're going to spend a lot of money and not get a whole lot of conversions on that. I would recommend making some sort of reel, or even going through your catalog and seeing which reels have performed the best, and maybe just do a different voiceover or some different text on the screen for that. You can also use still images, some of your nicest still images. I would also say that if you can make any that are obviously local to the place that you're marketing, if there's any local landmarks that you can use or venues that people are for sure going to be at least considering when booking their wedding, if you can include those, even if they are maybe less good images overall in terms of your artistic composition and the lighting and everything, a less good image with a local landmark, I feel like, is a more effective sales image. I will also say that images that are a little bit more ambiguous, so photos of the couple walking away, in my experience, have been better for marketing images than direct close-ups of a specific member of the couple. And if you want to go next level on this, is to offer some sort of time-sensitive scarcity on it as well. So make a landing page, and when people click through, that until the end of the year, until the end of the month, you're including taxes, or there's only 3 weddings left, you have 3 wedding dates left for next year, and they're all 15% off, or you're offering a local package discount or something. If you can offer some sort of time sensitivity, it usually just speeds up the booking process. And I would say that it also maybe books you a few weddings that you might not have booked otherwise. People are pretty ADHD these days. So if you don't kind of get them in that moment and get them on that track to eventually getting a booking, there is a good chance that another squirrel is going to come along and they're going to follow that squirrel and they're going to book that squirrel. And you shouldn't allow couples to book squirrels for their wedding photography. They should probably be booking humans, or maybe a robot sometime if they don't have the budget for a human. So there it is. 5 ways to book more weddings in 2025, starting off with the easiest turnkey solution that does cost you money, but is an incredible program, Ignite. I'll put a link down below to that. And as well as if you want to get more in depth with all of this, the 10-step program, pre-order $300 off. So it's only $99 until December 31st, 2024.